Hello friends, in this video we will see customizing your presentation, your PowerPoint presentation. Now first thing is inserting the videos. PowerPoint allows you to insert a video into a slide and play it during your presentation. And this is a great way to make your presentation more engaging for your audience. And you can even edit the video within the PowerPoint and customize its appearance. For example, you can trim the video length and also you can add fade ins and fade out and much more. Now for adding a video into your PowerPoint slide, we can do it from Insert tab. From the Insert tab, we go to the Media Group where we have this video command. So when you click on this, it's a drop down command and you get two options. Either you can get from online or you can get it from your PC. So you select video from your PC. It opens the browse window where you can find the video wherever you have, and then you can select and insert. So when you click on insert, it will appear in your slide. Now once it is in your slide, then also you can do what? If you're not having a video in your machine, then you can do record. You can screen recording also. That means you can use this screen recording to what you're having, what you're doing on your screen. You can record it as a video and insert it into your PowerPoint slide also. So I have a slide here. I want to add a video. First, I have already the video in my machine, so I can add it from there. For that, I'll go to Insert tab, and from the Insert tab, here we have Media Group. I click on this video command and I have option to add video from my PC. So I select it. It says where is your video? So this is my video I have. I select the video and say insert. Now you can see my video here on the slide. Even if I don't have a video already in my machine, then I can use screen recording also. For using the screen recording, again I'll go to Insert tab, and then in this time I select this screen recording. So when I select this, it blur my screen and it is allowing me to select the area which I want to record. So I can select the whole screen or I can select some particular area which I want to work on. So I say okay, I want to select the screen. So I select this area, whole screen, and now I have this record option, and I can even select the screen now. I can have audio also. I can record my audio also, and I can record my mouse pointer also. So if you want to record it, so then click on recording, and if you want to stop, press Windows plus Shift plus Q. Now it is recording my voice also. Now whatever I'll do here, it is going to be recorded. So whatever I am doing here, I am editing something or whatever I am doing, it is recording all those things. Now I want to stop the recording. So when I hover mouse over the top, it will show me that window again, and now I can click on stop. Now as I press stop, the video is now available in my PowerPoint slide. Now once it is on the slide, we can also use what? Online video. Online video is different than what we have recording or from our PC. Some websites like YouTube or some other streaming website, they allow us to add the embedded videos. They give us the embedded link which we can use it to add into our slide. Now what is the difference between this one and the one which we have added into my machine? Difference is like when you add your video from your machine, that will increase your size of the presentation. That means it will increase your presentation size. If the video is 10 MB video, then it will be added into your presentation. Whether you are recording the video, whether you are adding it from your file, but it will increase the size of your presentation. Now if you use the online link, embedded link for the video, so the video will remain on the server side, on the online server like YouTube. It will remain there. Only the link will be added into your PowerPoint slide. so it will not increase the size of your presentation. But the drawback is like you cannot edit this, like you cannot trim it, you cannot add fade ins and fade out and some other options. Those ones will always available only for your videos, which is you edit from your file. Because it is online, so you can't do those other options for the videos, but even you can add it. Now if you want to add it, then you can select this online video. Now for selecting the online video, first you have to get the link. So for that, I'll go to YouTube. I'll go to YouTube to find some video which I want to add. Okay, it's coming. So whatever video you want, you can select the video, and when it is loaded,
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire, messages that forge.
Here is
okay, now this is the video. So right click on the screen, you will get the embedded code. You do copy embedded code from here. So right click on the screen, the video screen, and copy the embedded video. Now when you copy the embedded video, then you can go to the slide where I want to add. So I'll go to this slide, and then again I'll go back to insert. Now this time I select online video. Now once you click on the online video, it will open this where you can browse from your YouTube directly, or if you have already browsed and you have got the embedded code, then you can paste that code here and enter. Now it will load and it will add that window here in your PowerPoint slide, but it will not like the window which we have added like previously. It is only what the video which we can play from online. Now this is the video, it is blackout. If I want to play this, I have to double click to run it, and in the PowerPoint slide when I run the presentation, still I have to do this by double clicking on the video. Now when you add the video, then you can do preview the video by using the play command. Then you can do jump to any place in the video by using this timeline. This you will not able to do properly in online video. Then you can resize the window size. Now when you add the window, it is just like a normal picture or shape, so you can format it as a shape or as a picture. Also you can resize this. You have these resize handles here which you can do resize, but remember these corner handles do resize according to the aspect ratio. So when you shrink or extend the video size from using this, it will adjust the aspect ratio. But if you use these side handles, then it can distort your images, it can distort the video because it will change the aspect ratio. So be careful when you resize this. Then if you want to move it, then you can hold and move. You can hold it and you can drag it anywhere you want, just like we do in normal image or shape. And if you want to delete it, then just select and press the delete key from your keyboard, it will delete it. So if I want to resize this, I can resize this from here. As you see, it is maintaining the aspect ratio. This one is very big, so I can resize it. I can resize it, I can move it where I want to move. I can play to check. I want to stop, press Windows plus Shift plus Q. Now it is recording my voice also. Now whatever I'll do here, and it is what is going to jump to anywhere. This is what the screen recording top. it will show. So I can adjust by moving it, resizing it, and I can verify by playing it. I can jump to any place by using this timeline. And if I want to delete it, just select it and then press delete key from the keyboard. It will delete it. I don't want to delete it. Now editing and formatting the videos. Now the playback tab has several options you can use to edit your video. For example, you can do trim, you can do fade in, fade out. You can also add bookmark to jump for some specific point in your video. Now first, suppose you want to trim the video. For that, first you have to select the video, then you will see this video tool tabs where you have two tabs, format and playback. Format is just like what we format normal image or shape, and this one will have the playback options. So in this tab, we'll go to this editing group. Here we have trim video command. So when you click on this command, it will open the dialog box like this, where you have the start handle here in the green, in red you have end handle. Now you can adjust the handle and you can adjust only the place which you want to have, which you want to keep, or you can go by this seconds here, start seconds and end second time. So you can go more specific by using this point here, and you can verify by playing it, and once you are done, then just press OK and it will be trimmed. For example, I want to trim this video, so I select the video. Here I have this video tool tab. In the format, I have the normal formatting tabs where you can format the video like using the shape, frames and all that, and style and all that. In this playback, I have option to edit, and here I have option to trim. So I click on it, it opens this dialog box. Here we have start handle and end handle. So if I want to reduce the time from starting, so you can drag it like this where you want to reduce, and you can reduce the time from ending also. And if you want to go more specific, then you can use this up down to go more specific time. When you're done, then you can check by playing it. You feel it is okay, then you can press OK. And now it is trimmed to that only seconds which we have selected. Then we can add fade in and fade out also. Now once you cut the video, so it will sometime look like it is cutted. So fade in and fade out will remove that effect. Like it will add the effect like video is coming slowly fading in, and also we can add fading out. So it will not look like it is cut from somewhere. For that, you can go to the editing group. In the playback tab, same you have here fade in and fade out time. You can increase the time in seconds. Here fading in and fading out times. So when you add that one, it will look like your fading in and fading out. So let's say I want to add it. Now if I play here, you can see it suddenly starts and it is ending like normally suddenly ended. Now I want to fade in and fade out, so I have here in the playback tab, this is fade in and fade out time. So for in, I will increase whatever time I want in seconds, and I can increase the time for ending also in second. Now when I play, it comes like fading in and then it will go like fading out. Then we can add bookmark also. Adding bookmark, that means we want to jump in some place in the middle of the play. So we can point that place there when you want to add the bookmark. Click on the timeline and then From the playback tab, we have here bookmark group, and then we can click add the bookmark. It will add the bookmark like this. So whenever you are playing the video, you can jump on this position directly. And if you want to remove it, then select the bookmark and click remove the bookmark. So if I want to add the bookmark, for example, I want to add here. So I point this here in this timeline. Then I'll go to the playback tab. Here I add the bookmark. Now you can see it's a bookmark. Now once it is playing, I can directly jump to this bookmark. Now if I want to remove this bookmark, I select and go here, and again I say remove the bookmark. Now we have some video options also. So there are some other video options in the same playback tab. Here it is called video option group. Now here we have multiple options. For example, volume. Here we can decide how the volume should play. Is it high, medium or low, or even you can mute it. Then here you can define how it is going to start. When you start the presentation, is it going to start when you click the mouse, or you can decide is it starting automatically. So without clicking the mouse, it will automatically start the video when the slide comes. Then we can select is it playing full screen or not. So whenever it is playing, it will play full screen. Then you can hide when it is not playing. That means when it is not playing, it will not show in the presentation. Then you can set it on loop. Will loop it. When it is finished, then it will start it again. And then you can set it as a rewind after playing. That means when it is played, then it will go back to the first place. So these options available here in the playback option, we can choose from there. For example, I select this here in the playback tab. This is the video options. I can choose how I want to have the volume, low, medium or high, or even I can set mute. Then I can select here that whether it should play automatically or on click. Then I can select whether it should play on full screen, or it can hide, or it can be looped or rewind. So this one will play when I click my mouse, and it will play on full screen. Now suppose, for example, in I will select this should play automatically. So I will click here and I say play automatically but not on full screen, and I can mute the volume also. Now when I run the presentation, I am clicking the mouse, going next, and this is my first video. Now it is not playing because I have not clicked the mouse. So when I click the mouse here, and it is playing on full screen, and when it is finished, it will go back to normal. And when you go to the next video, now you can see it is automatically started playing because I have selected automatic, but it is not playing full screen. On the other hand, if you have this online video, now this will not play also automatically. This will not show you anything. You have to double click it. You have to click it here to play. And for that, it is not increasing the size of your presentation, but when you want to play it, you have to be connected to the internet. Otherwise, it will not play. And as you can see, when I select this one, I go to playback option. I am not having a trim option, bookmark option, fading in, fading out, and these other video options. I am not having it. I am not having it because it is the online video. For formatting and appearance of our video, so we can use these other formatting tool which we can set design video style. We can use these to add an effect, or we can use the preset effects. We can add frames, and one more thing we can do, we can add the frame poster frame. Poster frame, that means when our video is not playing, that image will show, which we set as a poster frame. Mostly this frame will be the image a snapshot of our video. So you can select that by just place the point where you want to add the frame, and then from this format tab you can select this poster frame, and from there you can select current frame as a poster frame. Or you can also use this image from file. That means if you don't want to add the current frame from your video itself, then you can add it from your image if you have image saved in your machine. So for this video, like I want to make a photo poster frame, so I put the point here where I want to add. So this is screenshot I want to add as a poster frame. So what I will do, I will go to the format tab, and here I have option, and I will select current frame. So when I click on it, now it will set as a current frame. Now whenever we start the presentation or when we see the presentation, this video will show this frame. So when I start this, you can see this frame, but when I play it, it will play it from the beginning. Or you can add poster frame from your file also. If you are having an image, then you can choose it as a poster frame. So I'll go here, I select image from file, and I can browse the file from the Bing search. I can take a file from OneDrive, or I can take a file from my machine. So I can go there and I can select and I can insert. Now you can see it's showing this image as a poster frame. Then also we can use these other options to format our images, our video frame. You can add video frames, you can add this from here, you can add other effects also. So if you want that, then you can add those effects from there. Just like the other image, you select this from the format tab, then you can select what type of frame or format you want. For example, I want this for this. Then you can go on to select what you want, like I can set this preset, I can set this also. So we can decide what we want, and even we can do it for the online video frame also. We can also add frames for this online video. Now we can insert the audio also. So PowerPoint allows you to add audio to your presentation. Now for example, you can add the background music on a slide, and you can add a sound effect to another slide, and even you can add your own narration and commentary. So after adding it, you can also edit your audio and customize it for your presentation. Now for adding the audio, again from the insert tab, from the same media group, we have this audio command. So when you click on it, you have option to select the audio from my PC. So when you click on it, it will ask the where is your audio, then go on to select the video, press insert, and it will be in your presentation like this, and it will show the icon of speaker. Now if you don't have an audio, you want your narration to be recorded, then you can use this record audio. Now when you click on the record audio, it will open this window where you can select, you can give the name, then you can start recording, and you can see the time here, and then when you're done, you can press stop. You can hear the voice by playing it, and when you're done, you can play, you can say okay, and that will also added like the same speaker icon into your slide. So if I want to add the video audio here in these slides, so first I have to go to the slide where I want to add, and then I go to insert tab, and here I have the audio option. Click on it on my PC, and here I have one audio here, so I select and insert, and here you can see it's coming here as a audio file. Or even you can record your audio also. So if you want to record your audio, then you go on to select record audio. Now when I click on it, it opens this dialog box. You can name it. This is for slide number 8, and then you can start recording. Now it is recording my voice and you can see the time here. Once you are done, then you click stop. Now you can hear what I have recorded. Now it is recording my voice and you can see the time here. Once you are done, now when you are done, stop, then you can do OK. And again now it is showing here. Now once you added it, it looks like a shape also, and you can play it here. You can play, pause, you can jump to the timeline just like the video we have done. Also you can move it. If you want to move it in some other place, then you can drag it and move it. And then also if you want to delete it, then just select and press the delete key from your keyboard and it will be deleted. So if you want to move it somewhere else, then you can just select and drag it where you want to move. And if you want to play it, then you can play it from here. So you want to drag it from here to there. Now you want to play it. You can jump on any time. And once you're done, you can also adjust the volume here. Then when you're done, you can stop. And even if you don't want the audio, then you can just select it and press the delete key and it will be deleted. Now just like the video, you can also modify the file using the command playback tab. Now here also we can do trim the audio file for the some brief section. Then also we can add fade in and fade out, and also we can add the bookmark, same as for video. So for trimming it, first select the audio file, then again you will see this audio tool tab. From there you will have playback tab. From there you will click on the trim audio command. It will open the dialog box where you can see, you can listen the audio, and you have this green start handle and red end handle, and then you can adjust the handles to select the time which you want. And then when you're done, check it. When you're done, then press OK, and it is changed and it is trimmed. So I want to trim this audio what I have here. So I selected, and here I have audio tools, playback, and here I have the trim audio command. So when I click on it, it opens this and it is showing the whole audio of 3 minutes. Now I can change what I want to change. So I want to decrease it from the end. So I'll decrease it till the seconds which I have. And then I can verify by playing it. After it, I'm sure, then I will click OK. Now it has reduced, you can check it. And now it is only 11 seconds. Now you can see, if you listen this carefully, it is ending very suddenly. Now it is ending very suddenly because it is what? Cut. Now in this case, we can add this fade in and fade out option, so that it will not end that suddenly and it will not give you the effect of trim. It will fade slowly, so you will not hear it is cut. So you can add fade in also, and you can add fade out also. So if I want to add this fade in fade out, so I'll go again into the playback tab here. Now fading in I will not do because it is starting from the beginning, but ending it is I have cut. So I increase the fade out option to 3 seconds. Now when you listen it, suddenly it will go slow and it will not look like it is cut. Then we can also add bookmark to the audio file. Just select it where you want to add, and then again go from here, bookmark, and add the bookmark. And if you want to remove it, you can remove it from here. So if you want to add bookmark somewhere, put your timeline there and then add the bookmark that you can help to jump. And if you want to delete it, then select again and then click remove it. Now same as the video options, we have audio options. Same, we have volume option here where we can increase decrease the volume, we can mute it. Then we have option to select whether it should start from clicking it or without clicking it, it will start automatically. Then we can select this option that says play across the slides. That means it is not only play only the slides which it is there, it will play on, it is goes on to play on all the slides. It does not matter when I change the slide, it will keep playing when I select this option. And loop means it will loop, it will play again and again until I stop. Hide during the show, that means it will not show the icon of the playing of that audio speaker icon. And it will do rewind just like video also. So if I want to change those settings, these settings are here in the under the playback tab, these audio options. Let's say I will say start from clicking. I will say I can change the sound. I can say play across and do loop. Now what it will do, it will keep playing when I start the presentation. If I change the slide, still it will keep playing. So when I start the presentation here, it is not playing, but when I click, on it, now it is playing, and now it will keep playing. Even I change the slides, I'm changing the slide and just keep looping, and will end when our slides are end. Then we can also format the audio icon just like with this options, but the important option is this, to change the picture, because it's a very small icon, so these effects are not useful for that. But you can change the icon if you don't like the speaker icon. You can select change picture from the format tab, and then it will give you option to take it from your file, you can browse it, you can get it from your OneDrive, and then the icon which you want you select, and then it will be added into your slide and it will change. So if you want to change, by default it is this speaker icon. So if I want to change, I select, go to the format tab. Doing these things is not that useful, so I'll say change picture. I can browse it, then I can select what I want. I want to select this one and then insert. And as you can see, now the icon is it's looking like this. Now the next option is slide master view. When you select a different theme in PowerPoint, it rearranges the text on your slides and adds the shapes to the background. And this is because each theme has built-in slide layouts and background graphics. Now you can edit these layouts with features called slide master view. Once you learn how to use this slide master view, you'll be able to customize your entire slideshow with just a few clicks. This slide master view is a special feature in PowerPoint that allows you to quickly modify the slides and slides layout in your presentation. From there you can edit the slide master, which will affect every slide in the presentation, and you can also modify individual layouts which will change any slides using those same layouts. Now for example, let's say you find a theme but you don't like few of the slide layouts, so you could use this slide master view to customize those layout to look exactly the way you want. Now slide master tab, this slide master view comes as a slide master tab. Now once it is there, you can also go to these other tabs. It is not like you cannot go to the other tabs. This is like a tab, so you can still go to other tabs and still you can use those other commands from the other tabs. Now, whether you are making significant changes to your slides or just a few small ticks, Slide Master View can help you create a consistent professional presentation without a lot of effort. So you can use this Slide Master View to change just about anything in your presentation. But here are some here are some of its most common uses. First, like modifying the backgrounds. So Slide Master View makes it easy to customize the background for all your slides at the same time. For example, you can add the watermark or logo at each slides in your presentation, or you could modify the graphics, background graphics of an existing PowerPoint theme. You can rearrange the placeholders. If you find that you often rearrange the placeholders on each slide, you can save time by rearranging them in Slide Master View instead. And when you adjust one of the layout in the Slide Master View, all of the slides with that layout will change. That will save a lot of time for you. Then you can do customize the text formatting. Instead of changing the text color on each slide individually, you could use the Slide Master to change the text color on all the slide at once. Create unique slide layout also. That means if you want to create a presentation that looks different from regular PowerPoint themes, then you could use the Slide Master View to create your own layout. Custom layouts can include your own background graphics and placeholders. For you, if you want to do this, like for example, I want to add this logo in my slides, in every slide. So what I will do, first I have to enable the Slide Master View, which I can do from the View tab. I can click on this Slide Master command. So once I click on it, it will enable this Slide Master tab. Now here you will see all the slides and layout, and you will see the first slide here in the slide navigation pane. It will change the slide navigation pane, and it will change and it will show the Slide Master there. The first Slide Master, it is called Slide Master. So whenever you do any changes on this Slide Master, it will apply to all the slides in the presentation. So you select this, I want to add the logo. So I select this Slide Master, the first one, and then I can go to Insert tab. As I said, you can go to other tabs. Then from here I can add my picture of the logo, and then I can move and resize according to my requirement. And once I done, then I will close the Slide Master View from here. And when I close it, we can see that it is available. The logo is available in all the slides here in the presentation. So I want to add my logo here. I'll move this one because I want to add here. So I will do what? I'll go to View tab, and from here I click on Slide Master. Now once I click, it changes the whole view, and now it is in Slide Master View, where we can see all the slides here in navigation pane. But number one is what? Our master slide, where we have this title, layout and content layout. Also we can see the headers and footers here. Now in this, whatever I do change here, it will apply to all the slides. I want to add the logo, so I'll go here in Insert tab, Pictures, and I will find my logo. Okay, and then Insert. Now it's very big, so I will adjust it, and I will adjust it where I want to keep it. Now once I done, now I can close this Slide Master View. For that I'll go here and select Close Master View. Now you can see the logo is on all the slides. Now once you added your changes into this slide master view, it is better to do verify it, because sometimes it does not work as according to you required. Because you see here it is showing properly, in this slide it is not showing properly because this image is hiding it, and then in this slides it is totally not showing it because it is completely hidden from this image. And you have these slides the same layout, I have this one also, and same layout I have this one also, and it is hiding our image, our logo. Now this also we can do manage from our PowerPoint slide master view. So for that we have to do customize the layout. So sometimes if you feel like it is not working accordingly, then you can customize your layout. So even if suppose you added new theme and which is not working, it is not showing some slides according to your requirement, then you can change and customize your layout. For that, again, start the slide master view. Now in our case, our logo is hiding from some pictures, hiding behind some pictures, so I can change that. So for that, again I'll go to slide master view, and then I will select that slide which is doing the changes, which is not showing me the logo, which is hidden from the image, and then I can adjust. Now if it is not showing, sometime it will not show you the logo there, because it will select hide background graphics, so which is in background is not showing in slide master view. So you have to tick this, untick this, so that it will show all the things which is in background also. Then you will able to see everything. Now from here you can manage the layout which you want. Now remember, we will manage it only on one slide, and that it will apply on all the slide, whether it is 2, 3 or 100 slides. So I don't have to change in every slide, I will change it in only on one slide, and then I can adjust according to my requirement, and then I can close the slide master view, and I will do it only on one slide, and it will be applied on all the slides. So if you want to do this, so for example here in this I'm not seeing the logo, so I'll do what, I'll go to slide master view, and this is my slide. You have to select it, you have to browse it to select the proper slide. Now only one slide I'm doing it. Now it is showing the logo here, it is hidden from the image, but still it is showing here in slide master view. If it is not showing, because it is selected this one, this says hide the background graphics, so you remove it to show the logo here. Now what I need, I want that picture to go here, and this image should come here. Now first, this one is filled with the color, so it will also hide the logo. So first I'll delete the color. Okay, now I will move this placeholder from here to this side, and this image move to this side. Now it is looking okay, so now I will close it. Now you can see our image is showing here, our logo is showing here, and this image is going there. And not only on this slide, if I go to other slide, it will also change. This one is also change. So I did the changes on one slide, and it is applied on all the same layout slides. Then you can customize the text formatting also. Just go to the slide master view and then select the master slide, and then you can select whatever the layout of your text. Even you can change color, style and size, and then it will be applied to all the slides in your presentation. And even you can change from the theme command also. From the slide master view, you can select the theme font here, you can select whatever the theme you want, and it will be changed for every slide in your presentation. So if I want to change the text style, like this one is different, so I'll go to again slide master view, and I will select the master slide here, and then I'll select okay this title placeholder, and I say okay this one should be like this, and I can change color also. Now I did it only on master slide, and if you like then you can directly change it from here, font layout. Now I did it for only one slide, master slide. Now when I close it, I can see here also this is also change. When I go here, this is also change, this is also change, this is also change. It changes in every slide in our presentation. Now you can create your own slide layout also. Even you can create the whole theme, new theme, and then you can save it as your custom theme, custom layouts. So whenever you want, you can add that layout in your presentation. So suppose you want to create your own layout. So again in the slide master view, you will click here in this insert layout, which will add the blank layout here, which has almost only the title placeholder. If you don't want that also, then you can remove it from this checkbox. And it also had the footers. So if you want to remove it, you can also remove it from here. Then you can adjust your placeholders from here in this layout. You can move it, you can change it, and even you can add new placeholders also. For example, I'm adding here picture placeholder. You can add it from this insert placeholder command. You can add content, text, picture, chart, table, whatever placeholder you want. And then here it is created your new layout. Now once it is created, you can also rename it so that you can easily identify your layout which you created. Now after renaming it, if you want to use it, then you can see it here in the home tab in the slides group. You see the layout command drop down. So when you drop down, then you can see that slide here, and you can use it on any other slide if you want, and then that will become like that what you have designed. So for example, I want to create one, so I'll go first in the slide master view. Now I want to add new layout, so I click here insert layout, and it is added here now, which contains only the title placeholder. If you don't want, you can remove it. It is also having a placeholder for the footer. You can remove it. I want this. Now I want this, but I don't want here. I will move it here. Now I can add new placeholders. So from here I can add insert placeholder, whatever I want. I will add picture, and then I have to drag where you want to add picture layout. So this is my new placeholder. After that, I will rename my new layout. My new layout. Now when you close the slide master view, you will not see that layout here, you will not see the slide here, but you can add it here in your PowerPoint slide. So for adding it, you go to the home, and then you can add from here new slide which your same layout. You can see the name here, my new layout, or you can change the existing slide. So if I want to change this slide's layout, so I'll go here and select my new layout, and now you can see it is changed like this. Then the whole layouts you have designed, you can also save as your own theme. So you have designed your layout, you have added something, you have removed, you have made lots of things, so it becomes like your own theme. So you can save it from the slide master view theme command. Here you have option to save your current theme. And then if you want to use the same theme from anywhere in any other PowerPoint slide, then again you can go to theme, design tab, theme, and here you will see custom themes. So for example, my theme, I want to save it, so I'll go here and then here in the theme I can select save my current theme, and I can name here anything, my layout. Now if I open any other PowerPoint presentation, I want to use the same theme like this, then I'll go to design tab, and when I click on the drop down, I'll see my custom themes here, and I can see my name here which I created, my layout. Next thing is this action button. This is another tool you can use to connect to a web page, file, email address or slide, is called an action button, just like hyperlink. This action button are built in shapes. You can add it to presentation and set to link to another slide. You can play a sound or perform a similar action. When someone clicks or hover over the button, the selected action will occur. An action button can do many of the same things as hyperlinks. Now their easy to understand style makes theme specifically useful for the self-running presentation about at booths and kiosk. Now for inserting the action button, you can insert it action button on these slides at a time, one slide, or you can insert this in all the slide by using the slide master view. Now for inserting the action button, we'll go to insert tab in the shape command drop down. You'll see all the categories here, but in the end of those categories, you will see this action button category where you have some predefined shapes there to choose from. So you can choose whatever you want, and then you design that in your presentation slide, and then when you design it opens the action setting. Now here you can choose what you want to do, like you want to start by clicking it or just hover your mouse over there, and what you want to do. So you can select the hyperlink, what you want to do. These are the actions it can do. It can go to next slide, previous slide, first slide, last slide, viewed, end, show, custom, write, URL. It can also go for other presentation, other file also. And then you can also add sound. You can click the sound and you can select the sound which you want. And if you want to add it to all the slides at the same time, then you can add it from master slide view. You go to the slide master view and then add the button there, and it will be added into all the slides in your presentation. After that you can close it, and if you want to edit that action button, you can edit it from here. Select the action button, then in the insert tab from here in the links group, click on action. It will open the action setting, and then you can modify your settings. So if I want to add here in the presentation, so what I will do, I will select the slide, then from insert I go here in the shape, and at the bottom I have these action buttons. I click what I want, and then I can drag and design it on the slide. So when I design it, it shows like this. And now here I can decide what I want to do. I can select to run on click, or by just hover around the mouse, hover over the mouse. And what I can do, I want to go for the next slide, previous slide, first slide, whatever. Let's say I want to go to the first slide, then I can add a sound also, whatever sound I want. Now when I run this, I can see this button. When I click it, it will show it will sound, and then it will do what it is set to do. It will take me to the first slide. It has taken me to the first slide. Now this is only here, so I can add it one by one on every slide, or if I don't want, then I can edit in all the slides by using the slide master view. I'll go to here, select the slide master view, and on the master slide I'll select the master slide, and then I will add here, go to insert, and then from shapes I will select this action button, drag and design it here. And then what I want to do, I select that, select the sound, okay, and then close the slide master view. And now you can see it is available on all the slides. Now because of this image it is not showing here, but it is showing here also. And now when you start, you can see when you click on it, the sound goes to next slide. Now if you want to modify this, click again this action button and go to the insert tab, and then you will select this action command, and for that you can do change the setting for your action button. Now the next thing is rehearsing the slideshow. Now rehearsing timing can be useful if you want to set up presentation to play at a certain speed without having to click through the slides yourself, and it also gives you the opportunity to practice your talking points. So using this feature you can save timings for each slides and animation, and PowerPoint will then play the presentation automatically using this time. And you can also do the rehearsal for each point, like in one slide you say those points, explain those points and how much time you take, then next slide how much time you take. So it will record your timing, and when you run the presentation it will automatically wait for that time which you have done it in your rehearsal, and then it will give you the time which you want for each slide. So for that what you can do, you can go to the slideshow tab, and from here you can select rehearse timing command. Now when you click on it, your presentation will start on the full screen, and this window you will see on the top left corner, where it will show you the timing of your current slide, and you can select next when you're done with the current slide, and then it will keep recording your timing for each slide. And when it is done, then it will give you option to this is your total time, and do you want to save it or not. So when you save it, then when you next time run the presentation, it will go according to what you have recorded, what you have actually done in this rehearsal. So I want to do rehearsal for this, so I'll go to the slideshow, and then I will click here in this rehearsal timing. Now as you can see it is started, and this is the time it is recording. Now once I am done with this slide, I click next, then I click next when I'm done with this slide. 2 seconds, okay, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, 3 seconds, now when you're done, it shows the total time of your slide, and it says that you want to save it. You say yes. Now it is recorded. Now when I start the presentation from the beginning, now I don't have to do anything. It will wait for the time, and then it will advance to the next slide. So it is automatically advancing to the next slide and waiting according to the time which I have done in the rehearse. So it's a good option to do the rehearsal. Then you can also do one more thing. You can just record your slideshow. Now recording your slideshow is just like rehearsing, but it will also record your voice narration, and also it will record your pen tool, your laser, all narrations you can record. That means it's totally record your all actions, and it will record your timing also, and also it will record your narration. Then next time when you run, you don't have to be there to run it, and you don't have to be there to give the narration. It will automatically take the narration. It will automatically do record your voice also, but for that you need a microphone. For doing this, just have to go to the slideshow tab, and then you click on this record slideshow, and then from here you can select start from the beginning, or you can select start from the current slide. Now once you select it, it will give you this option that whether you want to record only the timing or you want to record the narration also. So if you select narration in timing both, then it will record your voice, you will record your ink, laser pointer and everything. So you select and set recording, and then it will start again your presentation in a full screen and shows the timing here, and it will start recording your narration and also your timing. Now after that, it will show you here the speaker icon on every slide, because it has recorded your voice also. It shows the timing for each slide also. Now next time when you run, it will not, you don't have to do anything. It will just run according to the time and your narration. Let's see that one. So I want to do it for this slide. So what I will do, in the slideshow tab, I go for the recording, start from the beginning. Now it is asking me whether you want to record only timing or narration both. So I say okay, all, start. Now it is recording my voice also, and it is recording my timing also. Then I go to the next slide. Now it is also recording my narration, so it is also record my mouse also. So when I use pen tools, it is also recording this. So it is recording my voice, it is recording my whole actions, everything. And when I run this presentation again, so I don't have to say anything, it is recording already, and also it is recording my pen tool. It also record my if I use the laser also, so it also record my laser pointer. It is also recording my laser pointer here. And done. Now it has been recorded, and you can see in every slide this audio icon that indicates that it is already there. Now when I run the presentation, now it is recording my voice, and you can see the pen tool also. Then I go to the slide. Now it is also recording my narration, so it is also record my mouse also. So when I use pen tools, it is also recording this. So it is recording my voice, it is recording my whole actions, everything. So it is recording everything. I can run this presentation again. So now if you want to clear this, then go back to the slideshow tab again. When you click this record slides, you have this option to clear. Now you have two options, whether you want to clear only the timing or you want to clear only the narration, or you can clear all or current slide. Now if you remove only the timing, then it will not automatically advance the next slide, but it will record the narration. So if I run this, now it is recording my voice there, so, and it is recording my timing, but it will not automatically change, it will not advance. Now it is also recording my narration. So it is I select here clear, and I say okay, clear timing for all slides. Now when I run this, now you see Now it is recording my voice. It will not change automatically. It is recording my timing also. Then I go to, now it is not changing. I have to change it manually. Slide. Now it is also recording my narration. So it is also record my mouse also. So it is recording. When I use pen tool, it's changing because I remove the timing. If you want to remove the narration also, so just go again and you say remove clear all narration from all the slides or current slide. Now this is what we have for this video. I hope you like this. Now in the next video you'll see something else. Till then, have a good day and thank you.